Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day before starting the video. Please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. For over 2 years, fans have been waiting for Jimmy and Jey Uso to reunite properly as a tag team. While Jey Uso's singles run has exceeded all expectations, his twin Jimmy's time as a singles competitor has not been very fruitful in contrast. Nonetheless, as the most decorated tag team in WWE history, and with both men now having distinctly over characters, another run together seems quite exciting. The long road since Jimmy's betrayal at WWE SummerSlam 2023, the heated brother versus brother battles, and Jimmy's repeated interference in Jey's singles title pursuits seem to bury the idea of another tag team run. Yet, Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso's return as babyfaces around this time last year, followed by Jey reuniting with the Bloodline to combat Solo Sikoa and his bootleg Bloodline. Then War Games alongside Sami Zayn and CM Punk, and now a firm alliance with the recently written off OTC1 brings the story full circle. With Sami Zayn on SmackDown and Roman Reigns indefinitely injured, Jey having antagonized CM Punk seemingly to the point of no return, and his equation with LA Knight getting more contentious by the week, Jimmy's arrival on WWE Raw this week marks a fresh chapter in the Bloodline saga. It also presents a golden opportunity to revitalize the Raw Tag Team division. Allied with Jacob Fatu and Sami Zayn over on WWE SmackDown, it remains unclear whether Jimmy will be juggling Raw and SmackDown duties or strictly be on the red brand going forward. What is quite clear, however, is that the Usos will now be feuding with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, who have made Jey Uso, CM Punk, LA Knight, and Roman Reigns' lives hell over the past few months. When Jey was outnumbered and brutalized by the powerhouse duo of the Vision, it was Jimmy who stormed out to make the save. In a key emotional beat, Jey admitted he couldn't fight this fight alone. The WWE universe erupted as the brothers embraced, signaling that the Usos are officially back together. Their return as a unit comes at the perfect time. The Judgment. Jey's reign as World Tag Team Champions has been quite a non-factor, and as the New Day rightly pointed out, led to further decay of the division. A babyface. Uso's victory would breathe fresh life into the division. Taking the belts off Finn Balor and JD McDonough not only repositions the tag team scene, but also allows the Judgment Day's slow-burning implosion to accelerate. From there, the Usos have a ready-made feud with the Vision. Breaker and Reed have been built as an unstoppable tandem of raw strength and aggression, which makes them perfect first challengers for the newly reunited brothers. The series writes itself, the Usos proving they still define tag team wrestling, while the Bronsons try to impose a new era of dominance and seize more power for the Vision. It's impossible for Triple H to ignore the bigger picture. War Games. With Jimmy and Jey finally back together, their alliance could ripple into the broader Bloodline saga as the legendary faction reunites to take down Seth Rollins and co. Whether their team once again involves CM Punk, or whether Punk will officially be done with the Architect by then, remains to be seen. Roman Reigns' inevitable return, once he is done with filming Street Fighter, looms large, and there are plenty of people who can birth yet another interesting dynamic interacting with Reigns. From LA Knight to Cody Rhodes to John Cena. CM Punk and Sami Zayn are, of course, precedented partners. Even on the heel side, whether Rollins decides to add permanent members to his group or allies with someone like Drew McIntyre temporarily remains to be seen. For now, though, the excitement lies in the present. The Usos are back, and the WWE World Tag Team Championship might finally be within reach again. Triple H might finally take the WWE World Tag Team title from the Judgment Day after what just happened, and the entire wrestling world is buzzing about it because this moment feels like the culmination of months of tension, storytelling, and shocking developments that have left fans questioning where the balance of power truly lies in WWE today, with Triple H no longer just operating as the man behind the creative curtain, but now being subtly pulled back into the spotlight as an on-screen authority figure whose influence stretches beyond boardrooms and production meetings, and right into the very heart of championship contention. And with the Judgment Day still holding on tightly to the WWE World Tag Team titles, in a reign that has brought both dominance and controversy, it suddenly looks as though the grip of Finn Balor, Damian Priest, JD McDonough, and Rhea Ripley is slipping thanks to the seeds that were just planted in one of the most jaw-dropping developments of the year. A moment that could not only shift the trajectory of the tag team division, but also rewrite the power dynamics of WWE's top stables in one fell swoop. Because if Triple H really does decide to take matters into his own hands and strip the group of their titles, or even set up a pathway where his hand-picked challengers end the reign, then the Judgment Day might face their first true collapse since. Rising to prominence, and this wouldn't just be another storyline twist, but rather a massive statement about the way WWE is being reshaped in the post-Vince McMahon era, where Triple H's vision rules supreme, and where the symbolism of him being the one to finally deal the crushing blow to one of the most polarizing factions cannot be ignored, because it represents both a break from the past and a solidification of a new creative future. And when you trace the build-up to this point, you see the writing was on the wall for weeks as tensions with the Judgment Day boiled over in backstage confrontations, their growing arrogance towards authority, and the lingering friction caused by Damian Priest's ascension as World Heavyweight Champion, which in turn has caused questions about whether the stable is spreading itself too thin and exposing vulnerabilities that can be exploited. And fans noticed during the latest show, when the cameras caught Triple H watching closely from the gorilla position, after a controversial finish that allowed the Judgment Day to escape with the titles, once again sparking speculation that the game had finally seen enough and was preparing to take drastic measures. And this brings us to the crucial moment that unfolded when Triple H's presence became impossible to ignore as he marched down the ramp after the main event and confronted the group in the middle of the ring. A confrontation that didn't involve flashy words or over-the-top theatrics, but rather a chillingly calm stare that communicated everything fans needed to know. Because this wasn't just an executive reprimanding talent, but rather the WWE legend, known as the Cerebral Assassin, silently warning the faction that their days at the top might be numbered. And now insiders are buzzing with the idea that Triple H could orchestrate the downfall of the Judgment Day by sanctioning a blockbuster match, perhaps at the next premium live event, where their titles would be on the line under stipulations designed to expose their weaknesses and neutralize the underhanded tactics that have kept them on top for so long. And if history tells us anything, it's that when Triple H decides to insert himself into the narrative, it almost always leads to seismic consequences. Whether it was with DX, Evolution, The Authority, or even his own battles as an in-ring competitor, where his hunger for control dictated the direction of entire eras, and the fans who grew up watching him recognize that the current scenario feels eerily similar to those power plays of the past. Except this time, he is armed with even more influence as the head of creative, meaning that he doesn't just get to fight the Judgment Day inside the squared circle metaphorically, but also literally control the stipulations, challengers, and conditions that could finally bring their reign crashing down. And the ripple effects of such a decision would extend far beyond the tag team titles themselves, because once the Judgment Day loses their gold, the group may implode under the weight of its own ego and mistrust with Damian Priest's status as world champion, likely exacerbating tensions as Finn Balor and JD McDonough feel overlooked, while Rhea Ripley's role as the enforcer becomes complicated by the rising strength of challengers across the women's division. And in that chaos, Triple H's decision to strip or dethrone them would symbolize WWE's shift into a new chapter where balance of power is restored and where long-term storytelling once again rewards patience and fan investment. And this is why the speculation surrounding what just happened is generating so much excitement, because it's not every day that the architect of WWE's current era steps out of the shadows to potentially make a game-changing move that alters the direction of the entire tag team division, while at the same time reinforcing his reputation as one of the most cunning minds in the business. And for those who doubt whether Triple H will actually go through with it, the answer lies in the historical pattern of his career, because time and again he has shown that when factions grow too powerful and start to dominate unchecked, whether it was the McMahons, Evolution, The Authority, Or others, the game eventually steps in to reset the balance of power and restore competition. And with the Judgment Day having now crossed the line in their latest controversial title defense, the stage is perfectly set for history to repeat itself. But this time, with the added layers of symbolism, authority, and modern-day stakes that make the outcome even more significant. So the real question now isn't whether Triple H might take the WWE World Tag Team titles from the Judgment Day, but rather when and how he chooses to strike. Because all signs point to a reckoning that could define WWE for the rest of the year, and perhaps usher in an entirely new chapter of dominance for whoever Triple H decides is worthy of carrying the division forward. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our WWE official YouTube channel for more update news.